Now we're going to do just one more example with this, and I'm going to ask you then to practice this type of example before we do the very last topic in indices. So it's going to be another index equation. We're asked to solve 4 to the power of x plus 1 equal to, there's a plus 1, equal to 8 over the square root of 2. And they gave us another piece of information. They said x is an element of q. So we remember from when we started the different types of numbers, this means x is a rational number. So we can write it as a fraction. It could be a whole number, but this is giving us a clue that x might be a fraction when we solve this. So this doesn't look super clear. 4 to the power of x plus 1 equal to 8 over the square root of 2. We need to write everything to the same base. So what base should it be? 4, 2, or 8? When you're not sure, you should always pick the smallest base number. So that means we're going to write everything as 2 to the power. 2 to the power of something. Let's do it step by step. 4 to the power of x plus 1 is equal to, well, 4 as a power of 2 is 2 to the power of 2, all to the power of x plus 1. Now, a power to the power, this was law 3. A power to the power means we multiply. We must multiply our powers, which means that this is equal to 2 to the power of 2 times x plus 1, like that. And that is 2 to the power of 2x plus 2. What did I do there? I multiplied out my brackets. So this here is the same as this side of my equation. This is 4 to the power of x plus 1. That's what we're going to be replacing later. Okay, there's 3 things I need to do. 1, 2, 3. Okay. The next thing is the 8. So 8, we know it now at this point, don't we? 8 is 2 cubed, 2 to the power of 3. So I'll be replacing that. Replace 8 with that in a little bit. And the third thing was this square root of 2, and that's 2 to the power of a half. 2 to the power of a half. Okay, now we have a fourth thing. We have to put these two guys together as a step 4 because they are divided. So what we have is, instead of 8 over the square root of 2, we're going to write that as 2 to the power of 3 over 2 to the power of a half. And dividing the bases, law 2, means we subtract the powers. So dividing the bases, it's a fraction, dividing, means we subtract the powers. That was our second law of indices. We're putting together an awful lot of laws in one go. So this is 2 to the power of 3 minus a half. I'm going to write this as a decimal. And we can have decimal powers as well as fraction powers. So that is 2 to the power of 2.5. And this is instead of 8 over the square root of 2. Okay, so take your time to understand those steps. People usually find them really confusing the first time. So now I can rewrite my equation. And I rewrite it like this. Instead of 4 to the power of x plus 1, I have 2 to the power of 2x plus 2. and instead of 8 over the square root of 2, I have 2 to the power of 2.5. Now I have a single base, a single term on each side with the same base, so I can say that the powers are equal to each other. And then I can equate the powers and solve. So that means that 2x plus 2 is equal to 2.5. And I'm solving like normal, letters left, numbers right. And when you change sides, you change signs. So I move the 2 over and subtract it. 2x is equal to 0.5. And then I divide across by the coefficient to get the value of x. X is 0.5 divided by 2, which is 0.25, or a quarter, if you were writing it as a fraction, which they warned us right at the beginning, our answer was probably going to be a fraction. So you can mostly ignore things like this, but they usually give you a hint about what your answer is going to look like. So x is equal to a quarter, and you would get full marks for leaving it as a decimal as well. Okay, difficult example. All I'm asking you to do today is try one of those yourselves. Okay, thank you.